All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to be looking at the start of the World War One. Okay. Now, if you remember from before the break, we were talking about how all these countries were basically hating each other, and some were forming together, and some vowed revenge and things like that. All that I was teaching you is to get to this point. It's a boiling, like a teapot in a kettle, just ready just to go and explode. But the thing is, there's one incident that happens that just ignites it all. Okay, and that's what we're gonna look at today. Okay. So since we're starting a new section, there's new essential questions. Was Archduke Ferdinand destined to die by assassins or in a murder plot? We're going to look at that. Was World War One inevitable? Was it going to happen no matter what? Which way of fighting is more effective, trench or the old school gentleman style? We're going to look at that later on. Which new weapon would you say had the biggest impact on the war? Next week, we're going to be looking at the improvement in weaponry and stuff like that. All right. And lastly, which had a bigger impact on the war, airplanes or battleship, and submarines? This is the first time that airplanes are used in war. Okay. So we're going to look at the objective, analyze the significant people wanting Archduke Ferdinand dead. So what's the significance of that? And then we're going to examine the events leading to Archduke Ferdinand's assassination. Particularly, we're going to be looking at that day, what happened. And then we're going to create an argument on whether World War I was inevitable. Was it destined to happen, either with his assassination or something later on? We're going to be looking at that. Okay. All right. So now we've come to the warm-up question. As you can see, there's 3 posters right here for you. The first one, if you look at the camera, on this side, it says, "Gee, I wish I were a man. I'd join the Navy." And it says on the bottom, "Be a man and do it. United States Navy recruiting station." Okay. The middle one, straight up, "Your country needs you." And look at that "you," how it's spelled compared to the first part. Your country needs, and then look at the "you." Okay. And lastly, let me move this little video thing. It says, "I want you for U.S. Army nearest recruiting station." One of the most iconic posters of all time. Okay. Now, let me move this back again. The second question asks you, well, actually, the first question asks you, what do you notice about all 3 of these? What do they have in common? Okay, there's several things. There's a couple things some students mentioned in class. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice. I didn't perceive it the way some of them did. They saw it a certain way. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So hopefully you see something that I don't. That way I can get it from your perspective. So again, what do all 3 of these have in common? And the second question asks you, which of these propaganda posters do you feel is the best one and why? So if you say the one with the, "Oh, I'd join if I were a man," if you say the middle one, the one like "the country needs you," or the, Uncle Sam one, the "I want you for U.S. Army," which one do you personally feel is the best one and why? Why do you think that one would be the best one of the bunch? Okay, so pause the video, write your response, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's the thing. In 1908, Austria-Hungary, which you see on the map right there, it took over Bosnia. Now, I'm sure you're like, where the heck is Bosnia? Okay, well, if you look at the map, you'll see this thing say like B and H. It's right below Hungary, right next to Serbia. Half of that is Bosnia. So where the B is, more or less, if you drew a line across it, that's Bosnia. Okay, now the thing is, the Bosnian people were really, really upset because they were like, who are these guys to take over us? You know? And a kind of nationalist movement started to form. And the thing is, they wanted to get all these Slavic countries together to unite because they knew by themselves, they're a tiny country, they couldn't take on Austria-Hungary. It's too big, it's too powerful. But if Bosnia, Syria, Bulgaria, and Macedonia, so if you look at the map, the yellow, light purple, light pink, what color? Purple. Sorry, my God, I'm losing my colors right now. The light purple, the one that says B and H, and the one that says M. They're like, if they got together, united, together as one, they could take on Austria-Hungary. Maybe not like take back the land and conquer them, but just enough to hold them back. So they're talking about that. Hey, we should unite, form together, just like Austria and Hungary did. How they united, we should do the same. And in 1914, the Slavic nationalist people decided, you know what? There's only one way to get what we want. We're going to have to take some drastic actions, and we should kill the next person in line, which is Archduke Ferdinand. Okay, don't go for the top guy, the king of Austria-Hungary. No, 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 no. Don't go for him. Go for the next guy in line, his nephew. So here's the thing about Archduke Ferdinand. You would think since he's going to be the next in line, that his uncle would be like, I like this kid. He's going to be great. No, 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 no. His uncle actually didn't like him, like really at all. His uncle was the leader of Austria-Hungary. He's the one that people are upset about what he's doing and things like that. And he's hated on both sides. By his own uncle, the ruler, and by these Slavic people. They hate him. They want to kill him. So he poor guy, But he does have a good friend. That friend, basically his real big supporter, his only supporter, if you want to go that far, was the German king, Wilhelm II. All right, now that picture right there, that is of Archduke Ferdinand. That's how he looked like, right? Love the hair, and that mustache is, look at that, just pimp Daddy Kane right there, with that mustache. The thing is, the German Kaiser, the king, he was like, dude, you know what, Archduke, you're the man, you're my boy, I got you, man. Now the thing is, Ferdinand, he realized why the Serbian people were upset. He understood. He's like, you know what, these guys, they want to expand. They're a tiny country. There's a lot going on there. They want to expand. I get that. And then the Bosnians, he's looking at the Bosnians going, I understand you want independence. You want to be free. Who doesn't? But I can't do anything. I'm not the king. Maybe if I was, I could do something. But right now, I can't. I'm not the king. My uncle is. But here's the thing. The Austrian-Hungary Emperor, Archduke Ferdinand's uncle, he knew that if Serbia was given more territory, more land, that other countries would want some too. So think of it like this. If in class, let's say you and 10 other classmates are in class, and I have a bunch of cookies and like hot Cheetos and, sodas and things like that. If one student just goes, can I have some? Can I have some? Come on, give me some. Please, give me some. And that's all it took. And then I gave them some. What would you and the other classmates be doing? chances are you're gonna be like, well, hey, can I get some too? You gave him some. He asked like 4 times, 3 times, whatever. Fine, I'll ask 5 times. You know, but give me some because you gave him some, so I should get some. See, you see what I mean? It's human nature that we are like that. Why did you give him some? He did nothing to earn it. He just pestered you, and then you gave him some. Kids do this all the time. They see how far they can get, and they know this is the limit of bugging you, the uncle, the mom, the dad, whoever, and then I'll get what I want. So they're going to continue doing that. See? It's human nature. Now, here's the thing, though. The group of Serbians who said, you know what, we're going to take actions in our own hand, they basically said, okay, we are going to kill him, Archduke Ferdinand. And they formed a group called the Black Hand. And they're just waiting for the perfect moment to kill him. So here's your first question. What are some reasons why a small country would want to expand? So think of it, a small country, tiny, right? Why would they want to have more territory, more land? Why would they want to spread out this way? What are some possible reasons? And then the other one is, why would any country want their independence? This is probably one of the easiest questions I've ever asked, besides what's your name? Why would any country want to be free? Should not be that difficult, guys. Okay? So, pause the video, give your response. All right, we're going to be moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's the thing. June 28th, 1914. It's a day that changes the world. Right? Now, remember I told you the Black Hand's waiting for that perfect day, and it comes on this day in Sarajevo. Okay? What happened is Archduke Ferdinand is going to come into the city, and they're having a little parade for him. Okay? They basically put in the newspaper where he's going to go down the roads. So the Black Hand's like, oh, awesome. Okay, so right here, this is a good point. We can't start too early. We can't do it here. It has to be like right here, this spot. So they're in the streets with the crowd. These guys have knives, bombs, and pistols. And they're just waiting and waiting. And here comes Archduke Ferdinand in the car. Him and his wife, I believe her name is Sophia. They're waving to the crowd, things like that. And then all of a sudden, Ferdinand's driver sees a bomb, the fuse lighting up, tossed from the crowd. He guns it, dodges out of the way, guns it, driving fast, and also the bomb just blows up. Now, the thing is, these bombs back in the day were very dangerous in the sense that, if the impact, the explosion didn't kill you, the shrapnel from the bomb would, or at least really hurt you, because the bombs were encased in metal, and when the explosion happened, these metal pieces would just fly everywhere. So people would get chunks of these metals like flying into their face, into their stomach, their legs, their arms, neck, things like that. So a lot of people got hurt at this parade. So the driver drives, he goes to the place where they're supposed to go to meet the local officials in Sarajevo. They have the little meeting, and when they're about to leave, the officials are like, hey, you want us to take you on a tour of the city? And Ferdinand's like, you know what? As much as I would love that, I can't. I had to go to that hospital to see if any people got hurt. I got to check on them. Because that sucks that they got hurt because of someone trying to hurt me. So he tells the driver, we're going to the hospital. Here's the problem. The driver doesn't know how to get to the hospital. He only knew how to get to that, the building. where he was supposed to drive for the little parade thing. That was it. So this picture right here, this is the last picture of Archduke Ferdinand and his wife taken alive. Right? So the driver leaves. They're driving, things like that, and he's like, I think it's a left here. Okay, I think it's a right over here. Go a couple blocks. I think it's now left, I think. So he's driving, like, guessing, and he takes a wrong turn because when he stops the car at this bar is one of the Black Hand assassins. And this dude's having a drink. He's like, God, man, we almost had him. Jeez. Oh, well, maybe next time. I don't know when the next time is going to be. And there's Archduke Ferdinand right there. So he's like, this is my moment. This is my moment. I got to do this. So he goes to the car. His name is Gavrilo. I know I killed that name. Princip. He is 19 years old. He takes out his pistol and shoots. Okay? He hits Sophia. She dies. And then he hits Ferdinand. And Ferdinand doesn't last too long afterwards, and he dies. Ferdinand is now dead. The Black Hand feels we have done what we're supposed to do. Things are going to get better. And it's not. So here's the thing. Austria-Hungary is very upset. Not that, oh, my nephew's dead. It's more like, how dare these people try to, they killed my nephew. Oh, how dare they? It's not like he was wallowing. He was just upset that they would do something like that. Now, thing is, he knew the Kaiser of Germany and his nephew were buddies. So he tells them, join with me. So if you look at the map, the German Empire and Austria-Hungary Empire, he's telling them, join with me and let's go against Serbia. And the Kaiser's like, yeah, he was my boy. Yeah, I'm with you. So they join forces. Now Serbia does the very smart thing. They basically tell Russia, hey, we need your help. Because the thing is, when you were going in the Crimean War, remember Austria didn't help you out? Remember you could have beat the Ottoman Empire, but they didn't help you? Join us. Join us and we'll help you defeat Austria. So Russia's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You take them from this side, and we'll take them from this side, and yeah, we got them. Yeah. So then Germany catches wind of this. Is like, whoa, why are you getting involved in this? No. You know what? We're going to war with you too. So then Russia does something very smart. Remember, Germany. Remember Prussia? Remember when they formed with Germany? They beat France. Remember that? And France was like, oh, we're going to get you back. Oh, we want revenge so bad. Russia then tells France, hey, remember when Prussia beat you up? And they were just laughing like, oh, we beat them so bad. We took some land from them. They owe us like 5 billion francs. Remember that? Join us. And let's beat them. So France is like, oh man, this would be so awesome. Heck yeah, I'm in it. We hate Germany. We hate Prussia. We said we're going to get revenge on them one day. That's now. So they're psyched. So then Germany says, oh, you want round two? Son, come on. Then Britain's like, whoa, hey, Germany, don't think you're all Mr. Chingon, things like that, declaring war on everybody, and Germany's like, what are you going to do? You're a little island, you were a great power, now you're nothing. We, Germany, we are the great power in Europe. you're old news. So Britain's like, you know what? We're going to join up with France. France is our boy. You declare war on them, you can declare war on us too. So they join up. Austria-Hungary, now is like, well, hey, Germany, you declared war on Russia? Okay, so are we. And then France and Britain go, oh, Austria, now you stepping up. Now you're going to declare war on all these people. Fine, we declare war on you. And Austria-Hungary tells the same thing back to Britain and France. So you see how everything is just from what we taught last time. All this stuff is being entangled in, and now the dynamite has been lit, and the explosion is happening, which is World War One. All right, so hopefully you can see the connection of how it's like a fight at school. One person gets a fight, and if someone sees it and say, hey, that's their buddy, so they jump in. Some other guys see it, hey, that's 2-on-1, that's my boy, they jump in. And this, again, is something the world has not seen at this time. So many countries fighting each other. That's why World War One is known as the war to end all wars. They figured this will never, ever happen again, where so many countries are going against each other. This hasn't happened before, and there's no way it can happen again. So here's your next question. Do you think that if Archduke Ferdinand wasn't assassinated, right, let's say he wasn't, do you think he would at least tried to negotiate with Serbia and Bosnia and give them what they wanted? Give Serbia more land, give Bosnia their independence. Because remember, he was telling them, hey, I understand what you're coming from. I get it, but what can I do? So let's say he did. He wasn't assassinated, and he did become the leader of Austria-Hungary. Do you think he would have at least negotiated with them? Or do you think he would have been like, nah, I'm the king now. I'm not going to have to listen to you guys no more? What do you think? What do you believe? Okay, so pause the video, write your response, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we come to the next part of like 4 questions here. This is a layout of the trenches in World War One. Okay, remember these trenches are about like 4 to 5 feet deep. They're about maybe 4 or 5 feet wide. Maybe. If you look on that little line with the dashes or the looks like little pluses, those are barbed wires. Okay. Everything you need to answer this question is basically on this map and in your imagination. Because like the second question asks you, why are there machine guns placed just behind the front line? So if you look at where it says the front line, it's right there. If you look on the side, look like this, so right above here, right there, right above here, it tells you what each thing is. So it says like there's a front line. The number 2 boxes with 2s, those are the machine guns. So it's asking you, why are the machine guns placed behind the front line? And why are they so close to the bunkers? Bunkers is where people slept. There was like things to eat, things, stuff like that. Why do you think the machine guns were so close to the bunkers? And the next question says, why is there barbed wire in front of the trenches and machine guns? So again, just remembering that the trenches are only like 4 feet, 5 feet wide. So what would happen if someone got to the trench? Okay, so again, use your imagination to help you out. That where it says no man's land, that's no man's land. That's where all the bombs and people dead in that area. There's no trees. It's like a wasteland. If you've ever seen the movie Wonder Woman, they did an okay job on that part. But The movie 1917 really did a great job showing the dead bodies, dead horses, the craters in the ground, stuff like that. So that's no man's land. So again, pause the video, answer these 4 questions. Again, I put the little, what, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, all that. I put that all on here for you to answer, or for you to help you answer the question. Okay. So pause the video, answer the questions, and we've got the next one diagram coming up, which is here. So it says, the first question says, what prevents bullets from striking a soldier's chest when he's on a trench board? If you look in the middle part, you'll see a thing that says trench board, and it's pointing at that area. So a soldier would stand there and shoot. So it's saying, what is protecting his chest? So imagine a guy shooting over, what's protecting his chest? Okay. The second question says, barbed wire entanglements were about 40 yards from the front of the trench. So if you see where it says like sandbag wall to where it says wire tangled defense, that distance, it's like 40 yards. So why would they have it that far away? And what would be the main function of this defensive formation? Why would it be important to have it separated by 40 yards between where the people are in the trenches to where the barbed wire ends? You know, why is that significant? Why is that important? Okay. And think to yourself too, if you've never been through barbed wire, you're very fortunate. But if you have, like myself, you know how it feels to go through barbed wire, or at least be scraped by it. All right, so pause the video, answer those 2 questions, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we've come to the exit ticket question. The first question, remember, pick one of these. The first question says, now knowing what happened about after Ferdinand's death and how many people viewed him and how people viewed him, do you think World War I was inevitable? Do you think it was going to happen no matter what? Even if he lived or died, whatever, do you think that it was going to happen? And I just realized right now that the second question is not relevant to you guys. That is for U.S. history. So I do apologize for that. So just stick to that first question. Do you think that it was inevitable, World War I? Because you guys don't know about the Zimmerman telegram. You guys won't learn about that until next year, unless you have U.S. history, and then you can answer it on that Google form. Okay. So answer that question. Do you think World War I was inevitable? All these countries hating each other, things like that, the bad blood between them for years. Do you think it was going to happen no matter what? What do you believe? Okay. So once you finish the exit ticket, you are done with the day. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to be talking about the weaponry used and the outcome of World War I. Okay. So again, guys, good job. You guys take care. You be safe. And I'll see you guys later.